President of Mount St. Mary's College from 2003 to 2014 and is currently the president of St. John's Catholic Prep. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Powell.
Thank you very much. We all know the story. And while the Christmas story is one of hope and promise with the birth of Jesus, the story is also one that should trouble us just a little bit. How could the people of Bethlehem not make room for Mary and Joseph? Well, you know the story. Mary was young, and because she was pregnant and traveling, she was probably a little frightened. She was traveling with her new husband, Joseph. They had to walk from Nazareth to Bethlehem so that they could be registered and pay their taxes. It's a long and hard journey for anyone, but if you are about to give birth, it's especially difficult. If you look at the map, from Nazareth to Bethlehem is 90 miles. It must have taken them at least 6 days walking. No doubt they camped out at night as they made the journey, and so when they get to Bethlehem, the town is absolutely packed. The place is crowded with all the travelers. Mary starts to experience the first stages of childbirth, and she knows that the time is now for this baby to come. Unlike a lot of girls who are giving birth, her mother was not with her. She only had Joseph, and my guess is he probably had no idea what to do. They desperately need to find a warm, safe place to bring Jesus into the world, and so they go in search of some place, and the first innkeeper says, "I'm sorry, look around, we're full, go someplace else." The next innkeeper, "We're full." And Joseph begins to beg for his wife. No luck. No one was willing just to give up a little bit for this young girl who was about to have a baby. Why should they give up their comfort? Mary wasn't their daughter. Let them find someplace else. And then they go to one inn. Mary was, no doubt she was in pain. My guess is she might have been crying. She was a young girl. We know she was frightened. And so one innkeeper takes pity and sends them to the barn. Joseph makes the barn ready as best he could, but remember, there were no electric lights, no running water, no warmth. And as every mother knows, giving birth is rather difficult. It's painful. And Joseph, like every new father, was probably very frightened himself. And probably after a few hours of pain, Jesus comes into the world, and we're forever changed, all of us. Our world was changed because of one baby. Now, have you been to a barn recently? Dark, stinky, typically very dirty, not a great place to sleep, much less to give birth. And I'm sure there were no talking animals, no light music, and there certainly wasn't any little drummer boy standing around that night. That night, the Holy Family was the homeless family. So when I think about the Christmas story, of course I focus on Jesus. I focus on Mary and Joseph and their plight, but I also think about those innkeepers. How could they turn their back on a young girl who's about to give birth? How could they not want to ease her pain and rescue her a little bit? How could they not sacrifice a small bit of their comfort to help a pregnant girl? Sometimes I think about what I would have done if I were the innkeeper back in Bethlehem. And I wish I could tell you that I would be different. But probably not. Probably not. I would not have had the grace that Jesus brought into the world. I would not have had the lessons that Jesus came to teach us. I probably would have been just like everyone else. For me, the Christmas story, the lesson of Christmas, is to call us to be a different type of innkeeper in today's world. When we see people in need, people who are frightened, people in pain, people without their mothers. And I ask myself, do I make room for them in my life? Do I sacrifice just a little bit of my own comfort to help them ease their suffering and to come to their rescue? Today our world is full of travelers. In fact, some of them are pregnant. Many of them are lonely, and too many without their mothers. As we celebrate this great birthday in our great city of Frederick, the mission for us today is to be kind. To be the innkeeper who says, wait a second, come in. I will be the one that helps you. So it all starts with you and me. What type of innkeeper will we be? Because Jesus was with us. And who am I to be blind, pretending not to see those who need us around us? To me, the Christmas story is really the Christmas lesson. In Frederick, we have a great tradition, thanks to all the great leaders in our community and all the great people, that we do open up our doors to people in need. So let us commit ourselves today to continue that great practice in our community, to open our doors and our hearts to those who need us. Have a blessed Christmas.